The silicon tetrahedron is a really important building block for a lot of our minerals in geology. So most of the crust is made of a mineral called silicates, and these are all made of silicon tetrahedron. So let's look at what that is. And so a silicon tetrahedron is actually made of one silicon element and then 4 oxygens. And so the silicon in the middle is kind of like the hub from which these oxygens extend. And so in the very center, I would have my silicon, and then extending out kind of like a weird pyramid, we're gonna have our 4 oxygens. I think I'm actually gonna use blue for that to make that easier. So there's gonna be one directly above, that's gonna be bonded there. And then I have an oxygen here, that will be bonded there. One out here, and then one kind of extending into the back. So you have to kind of picture that like a tripod. And so if I were to draw what this would look like with like sides on it, this would be connected, that would be connected like this and like this. So you have like a base down here, like a triangle, and then 3 triangular sides kind of hooking that together. Now the oxygens automatically have a -2 charge, so -2 on each of those. And then our silicon has a +4 charge, just the way that that element exists. And so if you look here, we're going to see that you have 4 positive charges and 8 negative charges. So overall, this is going to have a -4 negative charge. And so that's going to mean that when we have these silicon tetrahedrons kind of floating around, they're going to end up being bonded together by cations or positively charged ions. So if you can picture several of these kind of floating around, each with their -4 charges, you would need a bunch of positive ions sitting in there to kind of bond these all together. And you'll learn later that these end up forming different structures together. So you start to bond these together where you start sharing oxygens into the next little pyramid over, and they'll form these long chains. You can form double chains. You can form whole sheets. You can also have these bonded in all 3 dimensions and form these what are called framework silicates. But the silicon tetrahedron is the basic building unit for all of those.